I was reading the newspaper, not the newspaper, but I was watching the news, and they were talking about how Madam C.J. Walker's mansion was up for sale. Um, I was I was deeply saddened by this. The owner says that they couldn't keep it up anymore, but what really saddens me is that there are no African Americans making any serious efforts to preserve this institution of the world's first black millionaire. And to say that a lot of black people are out here with hundreds of millions of dollars and they can't find $31 million to pay for this mansion and protect an institution of black history and black culture because some of the proposed ideas are disturbing to me. There are proposals to turn it into a health and wellness center. There are proposals to turn Mount C.J. Walker's mansion into a some type of school or something, but it should have been preserved as a museum and a piece of cultural history. Goes into the disturbing gentrification of Harlem and the lack of black people not even caring about their own culture. I look at all these Negro millionaires such as Jay Z, Oprah Winfrey, Shawn Diddy Combs, even some of the other actors, Will Smith, Denzel Washington, Halle Berry. All of these people, not a single one of these African Americans, Beyonce, I'll even throw her into hundreds of millions of dollars in the hands of black people, but not a single one of these Negroes even sits down to think of buying this institution and protecting it and preserving black culture for the next generation of black people. Again, also other organizations we talk about: Al Sharpton, Louis Farrakhan, NAACP, black fraternities, sororities. Not a single one of these Negro groups is thinking about protecting and preserving this institution. I don't even think it was owned by a black person when they were putting it up for sale, and that's even sadder. Black people were not doing what we need to do, and our rich black people. When I think about people like Beyonce buying tiaras for and Gucci handbags for Blue Ivy, it's ridiculous. When this institution, you make this much in a year, you make $100 million in a year, you're not thinking about not only having a piece of property that will build wealth for you, but will also preserve black culture and black history for the next generation. But such is the case when you're dealing with Uncle Toms. That's what a lot of our black entertainers and a lot of our black millionaires really are. They really do not care about black culture or preserving black history. Um, these minstrels sit here and they'll cry racism and white supremacy over this institution, but not a single one of them has made a single effort to try to keep this institution of Madam C.J. Walker's mansion in black hands and make it an institution that could be an asset to the black community. And that's a shame, considering that she was the first black millionaire in the United States and she has a place in history. Because, again, from what I read, yes, the mansion has landmark status on the outside, but on the inside, people can do whatever they want with it, and that can take away from what the mansion means and what it represents. Um, Again, this deeply saddens me and deeply disturbs me, and I felt I needed to take a minute to make a video about it because it shows how negligent African Americans have been regarding their history and their culture. Um, a lot of us, we care more about your Jordan tennis shoes than we do about preserving our history and our culture and keeping it intact to pass on to the next generation. And if I had the $31 million, if I made that type of money, I would be making that type of effort to protect our institutions and protect our culture. Because something like Madam C.J. Walker's mansion, it needs to be kept in black hands, and it needs to be kept preserved by the black community. I know mansions cost have a lot of maintenance and insurance and taxes, but if you use it for nonprofit purposes, if you make a 501c3, mansion will pay for itself. Again, basic business 101, because I worked in nonprofit for about a year, and I learned things about 501c3. And everything will be tax free. Everything regarding it would be tax free. So mansion will make money for you, and there's other things you can do like hosting fundraisers, hosting events. Again, this is all while preserving the history and the legacy of black culture. But many Negroes don't understand business, and they don't understand how to take a historical asset like Madam C.J. Walker's mansion, or to take an asset like that and use it as part of a foundation towards building wealth. But that's the sad state of the African American Negro. Very short sighted, short term thinking. They would rather buy Air Jordan tennis shoes, Black and Milds, 40 ounces, other assorted sundry items, or like entertainers like Beyonce. They would rather buy tiaras for babies. Just idiotic ways of spending money instead of using money as the tool that it's supposed to be towards building assets, economic assets for themselves and for the community in the future. But this is, again, par for the course. Again, another millionaire, Tiger Woods, another millionaire, 100, got over almost $1 billion. No one is thinking about preserving the past to build the future for other black people. And again, deeply saddening to me. I really wish black people would really take a serious look at this, especially the so-called elite blacks, rich blacks, celebrities, these Uncle Toms who sit around making money off the black community, but then doing nothing to protect and preserve it. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.